Yo, what's going on, guys? And today, of course, D'Angelo Russell is officially going to be a Dallas Mavericks. We're waiting for the exact number, but shout out Mike Curtis for this information. Yes, what is this information, you may ask, Cyro? The Dallas Mavericks are signing D'Angelo Russell to a 2-year agreement. It'll be announced officially at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what do you guys think of this before we start? We all know why they did it. Kyrie Irving, torn ACL. They got Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis. This is a team that's big. They have championship aspirations. So, with that being said, is this a move you think that helps keep them in contention? And we made a video a few weeks back saying that, as I drop multiple things, I have like a bag stuck to my foot right now that we're going to try to deal with as we make this video. But D'Angelo Russell fits what we heard the reports were. This was the bag that was stuck to my foot. That they want a guy who can come in and play starting point guard, be a starting caliber point guard. And we've seen D'Angelo Russell can play at an all-star level for some period of time, for stretches of time during the season and even in the playoffs. But he can also get real cold. He can shoot you into games and he can shoot you out of games. But he can be someone who can play on ball as a facilitator or off ball as a shooter. And that's kind of what they wanted right here. And D'Angelo Russell, according to, as I said, Mike Curtis, is going to be a Dallas Mavericks. This is a guy who averaged 12.6 points. Also, his true shooting's wrong. That's like, I think it's 53%, 53.2%, not 55. And I just realized it says 55. Stay hydrated. He's going to sign to a 2-year deal. I think this is a great deal. By the way, if you guys want to let me know, what do you guys think of this new like little slideshow format that I'm kind of doing now? I think it actually looks quite good. And if you guys don't like it, let me know. But with that being said, let's look at the Dallas Mavericks lineup if they're going to have D'Angelo Russell there. They had $196 million in committed salary. Currently, D'Angelo Russell slots in as the starting point guard. I would assume Jaden Hardy's the backup if Spencer Dinwiddie doesn't come back, but Spencer Dinwiddie will probably come back, or at least Dante Exum will. Then Brandon Williams and Jaden Hardy, I think, with D'Angelo Russell there in tow, is a lot better than what it was if D'Lo wasn't coming. And I think D'Lo is a better option for this team than Malcolm Brogdon or Russell Westbrook. With all that being said, I think the team is big. D'Lo's like 6'3", 6'4". Klay Thompson, 6'6". Najee Marshall, 6'6", 6'7" on a good day. You have yourself Cooper Flag, 6'8", 6'11" Anthony Davis, 7-footers in Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. And we still have a few more guys. Caleb Martin, PJ Washington, both like 6'7", 6'8". Dwight Powell, if they keep him, 6'11". Omax, if they keep him, 6'8". Max Christie, another guy who's been solid, 3-and-D, 6'6". And I think they should bring back Kessler Edwards, but this is a pretty big team. And you hope Kyrie comes back after the All-Star break or is ready for at least the playoffs. Now, this is a squad that I think people can get behind. A squad that I think people can be like, hey, they're capable of making some noise. And for a team that one of the biggest questions was always playmaking outside of Kyrie once Luka Doncic was traded. No offense to Spencer Dinwiddie. I think Spencer Dinwiddie is more of a combo guard with point guard like skills. So it put them kind of at a detriment. And D'Lo is going to be mentored by Kyrie to be better, to have a better shot selection, to be a better player. And the thing is that it's a 2-year deal. I'm going to assume that the hope is that they can be good together. Then you flip him down the road or you keep him and extend him. But I think this is actually kind of one of those weird matches made up and weirdly made perfect for each other. D'Lo needs a place that's going to allow him to rebuild himself and his value. The Mavericks need someone who can be kind of a reclamation project that suits both on-ball and off-ball needs for an organization that has championship aspirations. And out of all the guards we've said he realistically is the one that has the highest ceiling for what they need. And I think that's the kind of bargain you got right here. Now, the team is good, and I think this is why you bring back a guy, hopefully like a Dante Exum, to help shore up, give you another like perimeter defender. I know he's not a true. If you can bring back Spencer Dinwiddie and Dante Exum, I know you probably have to figure out with like Dwight Powell and maybe one more roster spot. That might end up being cutting Brandon Williams, but to have another scorer and then and a veteran in Spencer Dinwiddie, and then hopefully on a veteran minimum, and same thing with Dante Exum, giving you a guy who's more of a combo guard but can play spurts of point and is a really good perimeter defender that gives you a utility player if you need a guy to be the glue guy. So to me, I think this is just a really good deal for all parties involved. The Dallas Mavericks signing D'Angelo Russell is so far a win in my column. And by the way, let's just pull out the handy dandy cell phone and talk about some players that if they weren't going to get D'Angelo Russell, these are the free agents that they would have had to deal with. So the current options outside of D'Angelo Russell, and they weren't going to get Josh Giddey. Okay, Tyus Jones, he would have been a safe option, but I don't think Tyus Jones is cool and everything, and he probably would have just been just as good of an option as D'Angelo Russell. But I think D'Angelo Russell actually has a higher ceiling, but Tyus Jones technically has a higher floor. The thing is D'Angelo Russell is a confident bucket getter who can kind of do a poor man's imitation of Kyrie, while Tyus Jones is like a floor general who mitigates risk. I think Russell Westbrook's too streaky and not enough scoring. This team needs shooting in terms of like scoring. Chris Paul would have been cool, but I think he was a no-go in terms of being that far from his family. Dennis Schroeder kind of has a little bit of streakiness. And this is why I've said you go down, it's like Spencer Dinwiddie, Trey Jones, maybe like we said, a Malcolm Brogdon. They're not going to bring in Ben Simmons. You get down to campaign and you're like, all right, this might have been like the best. Like D'Angelo Russell's probably the top 3 or 5 best point guards that was available in free agency. And it kind of works out for you and your franchise because you needed someone like this. So to me, it's a win-win situation. And worst comes to worst, I bet you the contract's set up that you can move off of him by next year. But yeah, I think that's one of the situations where people are just not going to give enough credit when credit's due. And I think this is a good one. So thanks for watching. What do you think should happen, will happen with this team? Are you still mad that Luka Doncic isn't there? Or are you cool with Cooper Flag in this squad? You guys won a championship. I guess it was all worth it. That's it. Goodbye, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Ciao.